What up? What up? Tuning in to Mikey 215 Sports, where we keep it 100 as always. Eagles win tonight, score of 22-10. Now this game wasn't easy. Like I said, I didn't think this game was gonna be easy. Um, my score prediction was 30-24. Um, Thought we was gonna score a little bit more points, but it's the playoffs. It's about can you win, no matter how you win it. Even going into the game, I'm thinking in my head like I'll be cool if we can win 7-6. Just get out of there with a W and move on to the next round. Whatever you need to fix it for next week. Because I'm gonna just tell you right off the back, I don't think the Eagles is gonna play offensively wise. I don't think we're gonna play like that next week. I know a lot of fans is probably going to be concerned about that. The media is, probably going to look at us a little bit different because of the way we played offensively. But I feel as though we're not going to play this. That offense won't play the same way that they played this week in the divisional round, and I'm standing on that. Some of the play calling was a little bit, concerning. I feel as though we've never really kind of gotten a rhythm to get AJ Brown involved. We did give Smitty a few catches, but I feel like the offense wasn't in rhythm at all. It was a few times where we looked like we were in the rhythm, like when we scored that touchdown coming out in the second half. But for all 4 quarters, it didn't look like we were in the rhythm. It did look like we were a little bit rusty. A lot of the starters, as we know, didn't play last week. Hurts didn't play for 2 weeks. Now, I did say that Hurts was going to be fine. I don't think he was as rusty as a lot of people thought he would be, but you can tell he was kind of. You could tell he missed some time, and it kind of showed during the game. And I do feel like the coaches didn't help at times on the offensive side of the ball, especially in the first half, getting those 2 turnovers and no, I'm sorry, 3 turnovers, because I believe it was a fumble on the kick return and then 2 interceptions by Bond and Slay. We didn't score off of those 2 interceptions. I feel like the Kellen Moore and Sirianni didn't really help us. They didn't help on the offensive side of the ball. If it makes sense, they didn't help. But the defense, I've been saying it all season, but I'm gonna just say it on tape now. This is a championship defense. There's no doubt in my mind that this is a championship defense. They got 4 turnovers today. Four. Quinion Mitchell got his first pick. Finally, it just happened to be in the playoff game, which is the biggest game of the season. So shout out to Quinion Mitchell. Slay got his first pick of the season. Um, the defense is the key. This defense is the key to, making a run. We pretty much seen it all season. This defense is championship caliber defense right here. And shout out to Nolan Smith. Nolan Smith looked like he was out there trying to get at it. He balled. Zach Bond balled. Like I said, Slay and Quinion Mitchell, they got their pick. Who else am I missing? Who else am I missing that was doing anything out there? Oh, Reed Blankenship was out there flying and hitting everything. Knocked out one of their receivers. I believe it was Reed that he knocked out. So he was out there hitting. It was kind of disappointing to see Zach Bond, N'Kobe Dean, go out with an injury like that. Hoping it's nothing serious, but a lot of times when players is getting carried off on a cart, sometimes, most of the time, it can be serious. So I'm hoping it's nothing that's that can jeopardize him for next season. Like I said, I don't really know his status for next week. We won't find anything out probably until Monday. So prayers for N'Kobe Dean. He had an amazing season and proved a lot of people wrong. So shout out to N'Kobe Dean, man. But back to the offense now. Defense, like I said, did a hell of a job. The defense held it down from the beginning. They held it down. They got a lot of stops, a lot of turnovers. They held the end of the bargain out there. Next week, offense, they gotta tighten up next week. And like I said in the beginning of this video, I believe that they will tighten up. AJ Brown having 10 yards, it is wild. And I can understand the frustration on his side. But we gotta turn it up next week, depending on no matter who comes to Philly. we have to turn it up. I believe we will. I believe we're going to look way different on the offensive side of the ball than we did this week. The main goal was to get out of this first round. It's the playoffs. Get out of the first round. Worried about everything next week. Now, if you do play like how you did this week, next week on the offensive side of the ball, you are gonna get a bounce. But I don't think that the Eagles is gonna do that. I don't think they're gonna play like that. So I'm already looking forward to who we play. Um, I don't really care who we play, to be honest with you. I am going to tune into both these last two wild card games with the Buccaneers and the Buccaneers and the Commanders, and tomorrow the Rams and the Vikings. Like I said, I don't really care who we play. I feel as though we're gonna dial in next week. I'm already looking forward to that divisional round. I'm not concerned going into that divisional round. Like I said, during the game, I was a little bit concerned with the offense, but knowing how this Eagles team is, they gonna shake it off next week. I think Hurts is gonna look better next week. Um, he didn't have his best game. I believe he had like 39 passing yards at I believe at some point during the third quarter. That was pretty wild too to see. But I still have faith in Hurts. I think he's gonna come through next week. Barkley had to grind it out for his 100 yards. He didn't have any big time runs, but he had to. Well, he almost had one at the end when he slid. Um, Goddard came back, looked like he was back in motion. So that was good to see. Yeah, it was an ugly game, defensive game. Like I said, Love is gonna give you a pick or two. I believe I said he would throw us two. He threw us three. So I had a feeling, that would happen. And also, stopping Josh Jacobs was key. I feel like we did do that. I feel like we stuffed the run pretty well. He didn't really go off on us all crazy. I know he kind of got nicked up towards the end of the fourth quarter. All of the receivers got banged up. The Packers was out there dropping like flies. Um, so that they kind of make it easier on the defense towards the end of the game. I mean, we was just knocking everybody out. Football is a physical sport, so I do, prayers to all of them for speedy recoveries. That is their career, so shout out to them. Packers came out there just like I said. They're going to go out there and play. Like their season is on the line as well. So they came out there. They gave us their best shot. Like I said, we didn't play our best football, but we did what matters, which was win in the playoff game when your season is on the line. Everything else we can fix. Because now we do have a next week. It's one, you know what I mean? When you lose in the playoffs, it's no we can fix it next week. When you win, okay, all right, what can we fix? I feel as though we did leave some food on the table, which I said I hope we don't do going into that game, but we did and we still won. So now that gives us some time to improve on some things that we missed in this game next week. We have another home game, which is important. I did want the 1 seed, but having a 2 seed is good enough. And next week I need Sirianni and Kellen Moore to game plan a little bit better. Like get back to what y'all was doing. Like I said, Barkley had to grind it out for them 100 yards. They were on him. So game plan a little bit better next week. Division around. Winner goes to the NFC Championship game. Each game, the stakes get higher. So we're gonna need Kellen Moore and Sirianni to dial in next week. We know our defense is gonna dial in, but we can't go into these playoff games where it's offense do good, defense bad, or defense do good, offense bad. We need everybody to be on the same page. This is the second round of the playoffs. Everybody got to be on the same page. Special teams as well. In all three phases, we got to be on the same page. There's a lot on the line next week, of course. We can't leave any food on the table again. We got it this one. Next week, we got to get a little bit more hungrier. On the offensive side of the ball. Defense, like I said, amazing performance. There's nothing bad I can say about the defense. Missed tackles here and there, but they did what they did for 4 quarters. They did what they had to do. So nothing bad to say about the defense. Nothing. Even Rodgers came in there and got a nice pass deflection in the end zone. So nothing bad about the defense at all. But like I said, offense, we gotta tighten it up. We gotta tighten up next week. Like I said, we will. So I'm anxious to see it next week. I'm gonna sit back and enjoy this game tonight. See what happens tomorrow night as well. I believe if the Buccaneers do win tonight, we automatically play them because of the way the seeding is ranked. So I'm interested to see who's going to win tonight. Um, yeah, so I'm gonna talk a little bit more about this matchup, and if the Buccaneers win, I'll talk a little bit more about that matchup next week. So we just have to wait and see. But I will be, diving a little bit more into my observations of what I've seen in this game a little bit more.